It's Week 11 of the National Football League, and our focus is on George Pickens. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Steelers and the Ravens, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, the beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here's the first drive for the Ravens, and at the helm is the 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player. Second such time he's won the award, Lamar Jackson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. Pretty good, as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
In motion comes the tight end left. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go, because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the new-look Steelers offense headed out for their first drive, led by a man in his 13th NFL season now. First as a Steeler, Russell Wilson.
After a tough couple of years in Denver, Wilson finally gets his fresh start, and he's certainly hoping to make the most of it. Truthfully, though, it's been tough sledding ever since being traded from Seattle a few years back, but he still has the talent and tools to make this next chapter a positive one.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 11 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense, because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, what a move. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll run again with Harris. And a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or to take care of it.
Yeah, and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose, and is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Steelers at 8-1 on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Harris running straight ahead. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are on the board first here this afternoon. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it as we resume action. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he continues to show off his ability to run the football when the opportunity is right. He is the NFL leader in rushing yards from the QB position. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
From the gun, Jackson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. They find some open field here. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
After the sack, you could understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish. But looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that first down in the process. Now Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Now it's Wilson. Got an open man. It's Pickens. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and a couple. Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Wilson. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
It's a loss of 8. Brings up 2nd and 18.
To throw is Wilson. He'll let it fly for Austin. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties, and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
And he finds Austin complete. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Wilson. He finds Pickens over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Throwing is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll make the score 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started over at the Superdome in New Orleans, and it's the Browns who have the lead in the second quarter. The Browns locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And you can see, currently, they trail in that ball game. Christian Watson with a touchdown reception from Jordan Love. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Brian Thomas, a touchdown reception. The Steelers got a solid performance in that first half from their veteran QB, Russell Wilson. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh. And to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 9. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and...
Here's a diving catch right side. And 21 yards there as they convert on third.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Play action. Now Wilson. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Ravens offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. We show you the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns. You can see where he's right up there amongst the league's best at finding the end zone. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Off the option, here's Henry. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Throw left side complete. That's Flowers. Catch number 44 of on the year. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Jackson. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy, most likely, to bring him down. That was a nice gain.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Jackson now. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry, His 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Ravens are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 63 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Ravens' 32-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out on the...
This is 1st and 10. Jackson to throw. Connecting with Aguilar.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Connecting with Andrews.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Here's 1st down. Now Jackson.
A short throw caught by Andrews.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Jackson.
That's caught. It's Flowers. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Here's Jackson.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
Well, a couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for Pittsburgh, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's a disappointing way to lose your first game as they drop to 10-1 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.